Double. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not a fluke. I'm packing my stats. I'm averaging triple doubles. I'm trying to level up, level up. My level is way, way, way up. I'm trying to level up, level up. My level is way, way, way up. I'm trying to level up, level up. My level is way, way, way up. I'm trying to level up, level up. My level is way, way, way up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to night 2 of 5v5 here at the Banner Chain Series, powered by AT&T. I'm your boy, Harris Rubenstein. Across from me is my ever-so-lovely co-caster. It is Mr. Dirk the Caster himself. Day 2 of the tip-off, powered by AT&T, my friend. How you doing? Welcome to day 2 of 5s.
Doing good. I mean, night one was kind of one for the ages to be able to kick off the 5v5 season. I think the most hype that we've really seen around social media, getting back into the swing of things with 5s, and I don't think the gameplay really skipped a beat. I was kind of worried that we'd see some guys coming out here, you know, kind of scared to take some shots, really start to have a struggle establishing their offensive rhythm, but it was kind of the opposite. I mean, a lot of the guards that we expected to be playing at the top level came out and showed up there on night one.
A lot of big-time performances, and with so much on the line, you got to get started earlier. You might get left behind. Let's get into our format. We start with the groups. We got 2 groups in each conference, East A, East B, West A, West B. Only the top 2 teams from each group will make it to bracket play and will join us in DC. So only 8 total teams going for $160,000, a very nice prize pool here at the tip-off, powered by AT&T. 60 grand going to our first place team. Nice little teaser to get the 5v5 season going. 30 grand going to second place. That tip-off final could be a $30,000 5v5 game. That's what you stay up late for to watch. But Dirk, we had a wonderful night 1. It was all about the Western Conference. T-Wolves beat the Lakers. Pistons beat the Bucks. The Warriors took care of business. Mavs beat the Grizz. What was your main takeaway from the Western Conference in night 1?
Yeah, I think for me was that Lakers T-Wolves matchup to kick things off. I thought that we were going to get more explosiveness coming out from Shifty Kai going up against his former team in this 5 versus 5 mode, coming off of his 3v3 finals MVP, but it was a little underwhelming. You could definitely see that there were some struggles, you know, trying to balance out with Dynasty and Shifty Kai being able to go forward and get their touches. I think the one question moving forward for Lakers gaming is that will Kai have the ball in his hands a lot more than Dynasty? I think Dynasty, especially in that first half, dominated with the ball in his hands for quite some time, but as soon as he started up giving away, they weren't able to get him any more touches. I think he had a quick 8 points in that first half, didn't see any scores the rest of the way.
Yeah, only 8 shot attempts for Shifty Kai, 5 of 8 from the field for 14 points. We'll see him again later tonight in our featured matchup against Jazz Gaming. Also a fun matchup. Heat Check Gaming smacking around 76ers GC, the usual kings of the tip-off. We'll see how Heat Check Gaming does tonight. Kai looked awesome in his debut at shooting guard, but let's get into our schedule for night 2 here. Been great action in 5v5 already. We'll see more of it tonight. We're focusing in on the Eastern Conference tonight, Dirk. We got 3 of our 4 matchups coming out of the East. Nets, Cavs open things up at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Gen G making their 5v5 debut. They get the Hornets Venom GT matchup, and then Blazer 5 versus T-Wolves closes out the hour. 7 p.m. Eastern time, we got Jazz Gaming and Lakers Gaming. We'll see both of these teams again on main broadcast. Raptors Uprising and NBL Oz will be on the side stream, as will Bucks Gaming and Dukes Infinitos. 8 p.m. Hornets Celtics should be a really fun matchup. The Celtics coming off a big win over the Hawks, and we will see the aforementioned Atlanta team going up against Heat Check Gaming on our side stream. Kingsguard taking on Warriors Gaming Squad, and Grizz Gaming taking on Pistons GT rounds out the hour. And then we close out with 76ers GC and Knicks Gaming, the old Eastern Conference rivals, matching up again. Got Wizards taking on Magic Gaming, and then Mavs Gaming going up against Pacers Gaming. A monster night for Dallas. Huge comeback against the Grizz, a 25-6 third quarter, and they take down Memphis in style. A reminder that the Cell Squad will also be co-streaming all week. Today we will have 3MG. He'll be streaming from 6 to 7, and Trey Sold will be from 8 to 9. All right, let's turn towards tonight, Dirk. Sixers Knicks coming up a little bit later. Nets Cavs coming up first. Let's start with the Sixers. A blowout. I mean, they were able to pull it a little bit closer towards the end, but they were down by 21, 22 points at some point. What were you seeing out of that Sixers team?
just not enough. From Dre as well. I know that we still are kind of hoping that Dre starts to get back into an old rhythm. I think it's just a reoccurring story for us. I expected a lot more coming out from Jaden. Now, it could be a little bit of rust, right? We have not seen Jaden play at all. He did not step on the court for threes. Defensively, it wasn't good. Kai was the main guy that he had to go up against. Kai ended up going crazy on the offensive side. Was not the same explosiveness that we ended up seeing from Jaden when he was with NBL Oz Gaming. I think that this is just one of these situations where you go from a team that is yours. You are the main guy of NBL Oz Gaming. And you go to 76ers GC. It's a different locker room. It's a different environment. Got to be something that you have to adapt to quickly if you are him. But if 76ers GC want to take themselves to the next level, of course, you got some big shoes to fill. 630 was the guy in this position that they could always rely on to go get them a basket. So just something to monitor going forward. And I think, too, even for Gradient, we talk about some locks and the shooting out of the corner. I think he has to be better offensively and defensively.
Yeah, the Jaden Gradient combo had 630 and GOAT last year, so strong defensively, and they both had good offensive seasons last year. That Sixers team a little bit slow out of the gate. We'll see them again tonight against New York. We also got Brooklyn taking on Cleveland tonight. Green's had a bounce-back game. A bit of a disappointing 3v3 outing for him, Dirk, but a dominant performance last night. Double-double, 30 points coming out of him. He looked fantastic. I mean, Green's coming up tonight.
I think that we'll see a lot of what we saw from Greens yesterday. I think the big question is now, right? We talked about Reezy a little bit. How is he going to mesh with Greens? If Killy and Antoine come out and have that same performance they did yesterday, oh man, like there's going to be scoring coming from somebody else on NetsGC. Walnut is consistent as they come from season 1 all the way up to now. He's always a guy who's going to be pushing like 20 points per game. He's always going to be up there almost pushing 15 rebounds per game. So you know what you're going to get from Greens and Walnut. The question is, who is going to be the third person that has to step up on the offensive side? I hope that the defense shows up a little bit more. Obviously, for the Cavs, I think that's something that we definitely saw yesterday, holding their opponents to 63 points. And that's a Magic Gaming team that we thought were going to be no scrubs coming into this mode. So it's something to keep an eye on.
Well, without further ado, fresh off of their first win of the season, let's meet Cavs Legion GC. Here are your starting lineups presented by Coinbase for NetsGC. Greens at the 1, Reezy at the 2, Streets and Steves at the 3 and the 4, and one Wild Walnut, the all-time leader in rebounds in the NBA 2K League, manning the center spot for Cavs Legion. The familiar face in Antoine, and then a whole new team, Killy, TB Shifty, DJ Too Cold, and Slaughter. Dirk, if you had told me this time last year that we would be watching a matchup where Slaughter is on the inside, but Walnut is on the popper, I think I would have called you crazy, but that is the situation we are in tonight.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see as the night progressed on yesterday, seeing almost, I feel like it was a dead even split of pops compared to insides that we ended up seeing from all the teams that were playing last night. It's tough because obviously some guards have different skill sets that maybe they don't want to pop out there. They feel like it might not be necessary, that just meshing with an inside and some of the shots you're going to be able to take and some of the second chance opportunities you can get, maybe just a little bit more beneficial. We didn't really get to see a whole lot of the Cavs or the Nets last night, for we're jumping in and out their games. So now we get to do a full deep dive, see how things were kind of flowing offensively. But you would think, right, with a team like Cavs Legion, guy like Antoine, who you know can dribble the ball, get himself open, get himself some space. Same thing with Killy, that having a pop out there might be a little bit more beneficial. But I always look at this from a playmaking perspective. It is very hard at the point guard position to utilize a pop in your offense, whether you're running pick and pop, you're running pick and roll, you're trying to run a 5 out. That IQ gets taken to the next level. And guess what? Maybe you don't want to take that time to spend it on this year. You just want to go out there what feels most natural, which has typically always been the inside big when it comes down to 5 versus 5.
Well, checking out Cavs Legion right now. They're playing out of the old Cavs Legion lair over there in Cleveland. As we go around the league before we tip off our featured matchup. Hornets Venom GT with an early 7-point lead on Gen G. They did not play yesterday, so Gen G getting their first chance at 5v5. And then the Blazers with an early 1-point lead over Minnesota. Shout out to Autumn Johnson hanging out in the chat with us. We will see her tomorrow night on broadcast along with JT. Dirk, I don't know if you noticed, I'm actually wearing the sweatshirt that JT gave me last week in honor of our man who will be on air tomorrow. So shout out to JT, shout out to Autumn. We will see them tomorrow. And we have a lot of great action coming up tonight, Dirk. So without further ado, let's get into it. Cavs Legion GC taking on Nets Gaming Crew. And Dirk, since you're on the analyst chair tonight, I want a prediction. Your first prediction of the night. Who do you think we got in this one?
I like the Nets in this one. I think that, again, Greens will follow up on that same type of performance. I think that we'll see a step up from Reezy coming into this game as well. My thing is going to be the shooting and the scoring of how they can incorporate streets and how they can incorporate steez. I feel like for the Nets last year, we saw some plays that were ran for them, some flare-ups coming from both of them, but they weren't even getting a whole lot of attempts yesterday, which could tell you, maybe the defense that was being played against the Nets was like, okay, like we're just going to let Greens be the guy to try to beat us in this pick and roll. We're not going to be really dropping off the corners all too much, but just something to keep an eye on because one story that I take away from yesterday, Harris, was that the lockdowns were scoring a lot, and so many of the points were coming off of breaks. So that's something that if you, of course, right, getting early indications, if you want to take yourself to the next level, you got to be able to join the pack.
I saw a lot of locks hitting some crazy shots. Most notably, I should say, was Range. Had a couple of really nice transition fade threes. A couple other guys hitting some big shots. Maybe we'll see that tonight. We got Streets on one end, TB Shifte on the other. Obviously, TB had those insane, crazy, weird shooting issues during 3v3 this year. Usually a pretty consistent shooter in fives. So we'll see how he fares tonight. One Wild Walnut got us going with an assist to Greens, and Reezy will get us going as well with a three of his own. Brooklyn up by 5 here early.
And just with Green's play style, like you're not asking Reezy to be basically like a secondary point guard. That's the thing. Green's going to create so much attention that if they can get little two-step plays and start to get some off-ball movement, mix it in with the screens there from Walnut, that's all you're going to need from Reezy. We have to remember that when this guy was at his best as a sharp shooting guard was when he got those open opportunities like you just saw right there. It is automatic when he finds an opening.
Reezy had a pretty good season last year. Couple different teams for him over the past few years. Had a memorable run with the Sixers back in season 5. Was with Mavs Gaming last year. So, we've seen Reed kind of bounce around, but this is about as good of a landing spot as you could ask. Green's on one side. You got Walnut down low for misses. So we're going to see a lot of offensive rebounds from Steez and Walnuts, kicking it back out to Reezy for those threes. So a pretty good landing spot for the 6-year vet now for Reed. He's been in the league since season 2. Starting to get old, man.
Dave in the chat said Walnuts washed. I mean, if 23 points per game, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals yesterday to kick off the season is washed, I want to be exactly that.
That man will never, ever be washed. He'll go out on his own shield. I promise you that. Just too damn good at the center position. As we go around the league, end of the first quarter coming around, 17-13 currently for T-Wolves Gaming. Bear to Beast with 10 points, perfect from the field so far. And Gen G has fought their way back to a tie game. That bucket won't count, so it'll be 16 all headed into the second quarter. Brooklyn currently up 7-4 over Cleveland as Walnut's got the ball. Gonna get it back out to Greens here. Back outside to him. Greens open for 3, top of the key. Too easy for the sophomore guard. Number 2 overall pick, won Rookie of the Year last year. Primed for a monster year here in 5v5. He was great last year, Dirk. I'm excited to see what extra things he has in the bag for us in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think the progression of so many guards when they come into this league, you're looking just more of them to step up and be a vocal leader and just start to get the offense going instead of just calling your basic stuff, like always just throwing different looks at the offensive side of the ball. So that's where I hope that we see the step take, and I think having Walnut on the pop does help that out. I mean, you've seen it yesterday. I think he maybe attempted 1 3. No, he didn't even attempt a 3 yesterday. So it's kind of out there as a decoy. You have to respect it, right? If you do get an opening to be able to knock it down, but you already saw the playmaking that it can bring to the table with Walnut finding Greens there on the off ball.
Some great rotations coming out here for Brooklyn on the defensive end of the ball. We heard from their leader, Greens, talking about the start of the 5v5 season. Let's tune in.
So obviously, everybody wants to win their first game at fives, of course. But if not, you gotta recover from it and see how you bounce back from it. We started off, I believe, like 1-4 or 1-3 or something like that, and we wound up ending the season 8-0 or 8-1, and we made playoffs literally just from the second tournament. So I feel like just keeping a good mental and staying confident and things like that, and holding trust is like another big thing. I feel like that's all that matters. I don't really feel like the first game matters. I just feel like it's more how you finish.
Yeah, Green's mentioned that tough start to the year last year, Derek. I think that had a lot to do with their emotional exit from 3v3. They had played so well all year long. They kept getting so close and over and over and over again. Just those final 4 losses, they started to really stack up. By the time we got to 5, I believe they lost in the final 4 on stage 3 times, and just took them a couple weeks to shake up the cobwebs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that we always have high hopes for in this mode, but we even just like look at how threes ended up going out, right? Like they started off so hot, but then as soon as they hit a decline, there was no signs of them being able to bring it right back. Like, there was a lot of teams that maybe we saw them start off good, they hit a slump, and then they were able to bring it back up as the season started going on. But for the Nets, it was weird. It was something that I don't think anybody truly expected for a team that was bringing back all 3 players to participate in 3 versus 3. And then now it's kind of rejuvenated, right? We're talking in 5v5 compared to the roster they had last year. Different shooting guard, different center that's going to be in the mix. And that could be pivotal, especially when you're somebody like Green, just having a comfortability and maybe a little bit more confidence, too, in your roster this year.
A quick timeout here for Cleveland. They're down 12-9 as we check out our player cams here. You see Coach Mike behind Antoine, coaching him up. He was with the Warriors Gaming Squad last year, helped lead them to their first championship in team history. Dirk, there's a lot of talk about coaches in 3v3. Let's talk about coaches in 5v5. You yourself you were almost a coach in the league at one point. What do coaches bring to the table in 5v5?
Well, I feel like from an esports perspective, like for a lot of times for coaches and more looking over towards the game of NBA 2K, I think that the mental aspect is crucial, right? Always trying to get everybody down there on the same page. I also think that in situations, calling stuff out and being an extra set of eyes is another crucial thing. Maybe calling out the shot clock. Maybe you're just kind of seeing something on the fly that you have to try to go with. This is not a big X's and O's league, right? We know teams have some plays that they like to run. I wouldn't say they have a giant playbook for them to try to go to, but that's what I think it is. I think it's all just keeping people at the same level-headed, right? You don't want somebody getting frustrated or flustered because, hey, this should have been a foul or this should have been a block. This shot should have went in. This shouldn't have happened, just to try to get everybody on the same page. And when we do a lot of listings with coaches, right, that's exactly what we're hearing. You might hear them call a play coming up, but I think a lot of coaches have that trust in their point guards to be the one to dictate what plays are going to be called going up and down the floor, what defensive rotations are also going to be called.
Well, on the other end of the spectrum from a coaching perspective, you got OG King Kurt for NetsGC, a little bit more of a hands-off coach. He likes letting his guys kind of figure it out. He's definitely there to manage the locker room, give the guys whatever they need, but from a gameplay perspective, has never really been his thing. But hey, the Nets' success over the past few seasons speaks for itself. He does things his own way. You got to admire it.
Hey, he straight told us when we call him coach, he says, "Don't call me coach. I'm not the coach. I'm the manager." It's like, I just wear the headset. So there's just different styles. Some teams might want a coach that's more X's and O's heavy. Some teams might want a coach that's just a little more laid back, like Kurt.
We're tied up here, 12-all, minute 20 to go here in the first quarter. As Greens gets a download of Walnut. That one's going to get picked off. Here comes Cleveland down the lane. Killy for 2, not going to go. Slaughter there for the cleanup, and he'll get the putback. Cleveland has their first lead here of the game. Nice run for them coming off that timeout, a 7-0 run. Let's see how they close out the first quarter. Greens gets it back outside of Walnut. He's on a popper, so you got to respect it. Saw him play last year on Bucks Gaming, did all right. Got them to the Western Conference Finals. As Greens, 5 seconds on the shot clock, can't hit the 3. Easy rebound for Cleveland. They'll have a chance here to extend their lead. That's Killy down the lane, gets Walnut up in the air, and that'll be an easy 2. 4-point lead now for Cleveland. The run continues. 9-0 run for Cavs Legion.
And everything started off with that nice Antoine 3 when we were talking about the whole coaching with him getting the crab, and now it just continues to pour on.
Another defensive play here for Cleveland. DJ too cold this time with the steal. Antoine gets it over to Killy, over to the corner. Killy gets it right back. Season 6 3v3 Finals MVP. He's got 5 seconds on the shot clock. Killy download a Slaughter. Whoa, that looked like it went through Steez's body, but just went around him. Now it's an 11-0 run here for Cleveland to close out the first quarter. Green's trying to respond. Over to Reezy. Bad spacing from the Nets. 3 on the shot clock. They got to get something up here. Streets of prayer. Not going to go. And Cleveland takes the lead heading into the second quarter. A nice closeout for them. A double-digit to nothing run. We're going to hit a commercial break. We'll have the second quarter when we come back. Welcome back to the tip-off powered by AT&T. Looking around the league, Gen G on a huge run. They're up 35-28. Gallo and Reese the God starting to take over. And then at the bottom of your screen, Blazer 5 fighting back in a big way. They've gone back up by 3. Nice game there for Claude so far. He's been cooking. Got 18-12 in our featured matchup. NetsGC trying to stick with Cleveland here. Been a nice start to the night so far, but a great start to the 5v5 season. Like you said, Dirk, a lot of excitement on social media for fives to start. It's great to see the support coming in from the core audience of the league.
There's the most tweets that I've seen all year about the league. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. When I woke up that morning, my entire feed was just flooded with players talking about their debut in 5 versus 5, getting into the big money of the 5v5 world. And, I'm not surprised by it, right? Like, this is what the league was built up off of, was the 5v5 mode. I will say it because I don't think it's even an unpopular opinion. Maybe, years and years ago, 5v5 is the best mode that has been put into 2K. Any mode where you can have everybody controlled on the floor at the exact same time, it is absolutely the best.
Yeah, Pro-Am has probably become the fastest growing game mode in 2K. At least from a content creator perspective. Great to see a lot of the content creators getting into it. Obviously, Joe knows the big one this offseason. Him challenging a lot of 2K League players. Been a lot of fun seeing him. I believe he's taken a bit of a pause from Pro-Am recently. Not surprised considering how much he was playing, Dirk. At some point, you gotta come up for water. Because we're going to have a jump ball here on the Cavs Nets side, and the Nets will take it home.
I mean, when you're getting banned from playing in leagues because you're winning too much, I mean, one, soft as hell, but I would probably do the same thing too with it. I think now he's on a stretch from 60 to 99 overall with no VC spent.
Amazing.
So, man, couldn't pay me enough to do that. Actually, if I saw his Twitch checks, I might get a little.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. You're gonna take that one back right now. 38-34, Tutok hit a 3 on the other end, and on this side, One Wild Walnut playing on a popper gets the 3 to fall, cuts the lead to 3. Tutok with a nice shot over there. You want to talk about people getting banned from Pro-Am leagues? That whole Spicy Boys team started getting banned. You know what, Dirk? Back in my day, teams wouldn't get banned in leagues. Okay, you just had to figure out a way to beat them. But nowadays, oh man, they're banning teams left and right. If you win too much, you get sent out of the leagues. It's cowardice. I hate it.
Can you imagine Greatness or RDG playing in
modern
modern day
goodness,
Pro-Am?
No way. Dimes would never allow that to happen. Prime Goofy getting banned from a league would have caused a Twitter storm of legendary proportions. By the way, happy birthday to that boy Dimes. A big year for him. Coming back to Bucks Gaming, went to Sweden, won a championship with USA Basketball, had a kid. Now a big birthday for Dat Boy Dimes. We'll see him later tonight on the side channels as Bucks Gaming takes on Dukes and Benitos. Happy birthday to Big Dimes.
Happy birthday to you.
To you.
That's why we don't sing. That's why we don't do that.
Totally tone deaf. 20-15 here. Cavs Legion on top. Talked about that Gen G game. It's 35-30 over there. 11 points for Big Saint, trying to keep Hornets Venom in that one. 12 points, 7 assists for Gallo, 10 points for Reese. 19-14 second quarter for Gen G. Got it done there. But a nice start here for Cavs Legion, Jerk. The offense is getting it done. And on defense, yeah, I slipped up there.
Why do you always call me Jerk? Every time.
Because I say it too fast.
There's
it comes up more as like a jerk instead of a solid J. It's more of a soft G, like G-I-R-K.
I'm guaranteed every time I work with you, except from yesterday, at least one time you call me jerk instead
100%.
of jerk.
Oh, it slips out, and all of a sudden they just call it, get a little accent going.
You're Russian?
Well, Eastern European. My family's from Prussia, so what is now modern-day Russia. Yeah, there you go, Hanky. J-I-R-K. That's more like it. That's going to be a miss from Slaughter. DJ Too Cold will get it back out. We got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Antoine trying to get away from him. Down to Slaughter, over to the corner. Nothing there. Great defense from Brooklyn. Antoine to the rim, and it's sent away by Steez. Get that soft stuff out of here, and that'll be a transition take foul. Brooklyn will go to the line for one.
I'm about to hit you with the Iron Eagle clip where he sits there and gets all defensive, and he's like, I want to go back to something that you said earlier in the broadcast.
I'm going to save it. All right, I'm going to put it in my back pocket. 20-16 here. See if NetsGC can break into this lead heading into halftime. Greens has been quiet so far here in the second quarter. He'll get it down to Walnut. Back out to Reezy. 10 seconds. Oh, that one's stolen away by Shifty. Well done by him. Read it the whole way. The Cavs Legion get it right back. Antoine, mid-range jumper. That'll fall. Nice shot from the point guard for Cleveland. It's back up to 6. He's got 5.
Yeah, and Cleveland yesterday was one of the best defensive teams that we saw in the early parts of 5v5. They were 6th in terms of how many points they were allowing their opponents to score, and they were 2nd in turnovers forced per game as well. So the defensive intensity has been something that they came out and made a true statement with against Magic Gaming, and now they're doing it here against Brooklyn too.
DJ Tuchel download a Slaughter, his old T-Wolves gaming partner, and it's an 8-point lead now for the Cavs. Their biggest of the game so far. 2:20 left to go here in the first half. Nets offense coming to a screeching halt here. Well done by the Cavs. They really only have that Walnut 3 as a big play here offensively. Besides that, it's just been a lot of passing around. They're in horseshoe basketball right now, Derek. Looking a lot like a soccer team. As Green's over to the corner. Streets for 3. Knocks it down. They needed that. And they'll cut the lead to 5.
And that was great clock awareness there, too. Just being able to find the corner with enough time to actually get off a clean shot. No, not leaving a chance for a flick up, and Streets just constantly fighting off ball to try to get some wiggle room.
Well, Cavs Legion up by 5. Let's head into our first listen in of the night with Cleveland. Yeah.
Hot. Listen, finish possession, bro. Please. Like, come on. Come on. One for one, a pass. All right, bro. Good ball. Stop bringing the fucking bill out. Slip. Yep. Heavy. Hold it. Box. Hold on. Left wing. Top of the key slot. Now. Not me. Hold. Overload. Slip. Just guard. Get it out. Six. Slip it. I'm sliding. If you want me to sliding. One more. Oh, move, though, D.
Hand drop. Oh.
Foul. Yo, listen, I just thought we were just talking too much, man, but listen, we use my time out moment.
Who called it?
I think
NetsGC fighting back, cutting the lead to 5 here. They're now winning the second quarter. A disappointment for Cleveland, Dirk. This Cavs team was really in control, but now only a 5-point game. They got to be careful.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the success that they're having right now coming from the inside with some of the mid-ranges being able to fight into the paint. But now the Nets are starting to get the defensive game plan together. So they're starting to force them deeper and deeper into the shot clock. Maybe having to go some ill-advised takes. I know that when we jumped into the listen and TB at the very last second was able to get a layup to go. But you saw that closing sequence, what ended up leading to the fast break. And then it ended up leading to the score and then the timeout. So just got to try to correct that. And I think right now, too, we're still on TB watch from three-point shooting. Still has not made a 3 so far here in 5s going from the game they played yesterday. Now 0 for 2 in this game from behind the arc. That's something that, honestly, him and DJ Tuchel, you got to get back to that same rhythm that we saw last year, years prior when these guys were in the league, of being some of the best three-point shooters that we had out of those corners.
Well, second half's underway. Gen G versus Hornets Venom. T-Wolves Gaming versus Blazer 5. You can catch those on our alt stream. But we'll focus into the last 40 seconds of our featured matchup. Cavs up by 5. Killy down the lane, gives it up to Slaughter. Can't get it to go. Nice defense from Steez down low. Here come the Nets. They're playing fast. Greens, had an opening, didn't take it. They'll reset back to Greens. About a 5-second differential between shot and game clock. Getting shifty at the top. Steez, nice pass to Walnut. The pop for 3. Can't hit it. Rebound from Slaughter. Here comes the Cavs. No, it's stolen away by Walnut. Nice play to make up for the missed shot. They got 5 seconds. Over to the corner for 3, and he finds the open man. Nice pass to his front court partner, Steez. And Brooklyn cuts the lead to 2. Did Cavs have a response? Don't get fouled. 2.1 on the clock. Walnut has been excellent here in the first half. Cavs will get it in, but they will not get a shot off. Small lead here for Cavs Legion, up 26-24. Nice fight back from the Nets. We'll have the second half on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it index. Put this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah. Oh, shoot. They don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Beast in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they wanted to smoke. If you know, then you know. Suited up, my whole team do the same. Don't you forget who created the game. Ready for war, I was born with grenades. The trenches where soldiers are made. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever.
Some of us are catalysts. Because of that, you have to accept not being liked.
I cherish the moment, it's high stakes. I used to spend time on my time pay. The way speaker thumping it vibrate. She jumping my bones, make it gyrate. Sipping for a crib, it's a fireplace. I turn off my phone for like 5 days. I show out, I know it's my time, lady. Jump started this shit from online, baby. Whatever we doing, it's live, ain't it? They envy, defended, they pride, ain't they? Don't say how they feeling in my face. I'm fluid, inspiring my team. It's stones in my ring and my ice age. She told me she do it if I say want a meal ticket, I get seafood. Everything I do, I see it through. She in a black dress, I can see it through. She get a body type, a little preview. She like big brain, she got big dreams. She doing big things, I'm like me too. I can see me and you, I'm doing me, boo. I got reach too. I pull out the whip, it's honest to get.
Welcome back to the tip-off powered by AT&T. We got two close games going on the alt stream right now. T-Wolves Gaming up 4 on Blazer 5, and we got a tie ball game between Gen G and Hornets Venom GT. Our two Season 3 expansion teams that came in together have had a lot of fun duels over the years, but let's zoom in on T-Wolves Gaming, Blazer 5 as they're closing out the third quarter. 40 seconds left in that one. It's a 2-point lead here for Minnesota. Bears got that playmaking badge going. He's on the Anthony Edwards build. I'm officially dubbing it the fun 5-out guard build we got this year. Had a bunch of guys dominate on it. As Bear trying to use it to good effect here. Two-talk from way downtown. He swishes it. Coming off that playmaking badge, a devious shot from the number 2 overall pick.
Here's the scary part, is that you remember with T-Wolves Gaming last year, you'd have games where Bear to Beast could go off with scoring and then Kai would slowly creep up and get closer to matching him. You were seeing that exact same thing right now with Bear and Two-Talk. 22 points for Bear. He got 17 for Two-Talk after he just made that 3. Now he's got his takeover. But the issue is, Harris, they're doing that. It's only up by 5.
That 5-point lead here for T-Wolves Gaming. That'll close out the third quarter. You can check out the Gen G Hornets side of things now. They're tied at 43. 40 seconds left to go in that quarter. We saw Big Sink get a disgusting snatch block and then outlet pass earlier in this game. He's been a fun guy to watch at the power forward spot. As Crown takes it on himself, can't get the midi to fall. Gen G going to have a chance to take the lead here heading into the fourth quarter. Gallo wide open for 3. Swishes it again. Nice shot from Gallo. You can't leave that man open, Dirk. That's the wrong guy to leave open.
Well, I'm shocked still going back to that last play. Crown was wide open for 3 with takeover. Like, had all the time in the world to take it and dribbled in and shot a midi and ended up missing. I mean, he's on the build that can shoot 3, so that was just interesting. But yeah, same thing for Gallo. First time that we're seeing Gen G this year. Fully expect him that when he gets any type of opening here in 5v5 that he's going to be able to connect.
Ooh, Reese gets fouled. 2.3 seconds to go. Just got word that our featured matchup's back from halftime. We'll jump over there once this one hits the buzzer. Ooh, Gallo was open there for a second off the decks. Reese, can he get the shot up? He does. Oh, and he hits it. Reese the God out of the corner at the buzzer. That was disgusting from the original 102 member. Welcome to Gen G, Reese the God. Oh, we got to see that one again. Put it on Twitter. I guess it's called X now. Who cares? X marks the spot. What a shot from Reese. 17 for him now.
I mean, off the catch there, too, where it was so slow, but it just kind of stuck in the mud there. Maybe just expecting Reese to not go up with something, hold the ball. I mean, with the confidence there to shoot that, of course, you have the takeover, so you like your odds of being able to get that. But that is a crazy, crazy shot to hit. Might be one of the best here in the early stages of 5s.
Sharpshooter badge is still the best thing in 2K, Dirk. It just lets you pull off the fun stuff. The really, really fun stuff. And there's Walnut again popping out. This is the year of the popper, Dirk. I have seen Walnut hit 2 threes basically in a row in rhythm, and they're up by 4 here in the third quarter.
Been doing a good job of finding a lot of openings. So I don't know if that's a mixture of like disrespect coming from some players, like, you know, it's Walnut out there, who cares? But I believe, looking at the box score, he's 2 of 3 from behind the arc.
2024, the year of the popper in the NBA 2K leagues. Antoine puts him on skates. Woof. What a move there from Antoine. Hits the shot this time. We're back to 1.
This is actually one of the more lower scoring games that I feel like we've had so far, going from looking at the games of yesterday now going into today. It's been some pretty high scoring for many of the matchups.
Nice 3 there from Greens. I also just saw Bear to Beast absolutely posterize somebody on the alt channel. That T-Wolves gaming game. Gonna get fun. We'll check in on it a little bit later when it closes out. Right now, a 4-point lead over here. Nice start to the third for Brooklyn. 11-5 run. They got the lead. Kelly's going to get a turn here. Yeah, maybe don't leave that guy wide open. He'll punish you 35-34. A lot of that going on tonight, Dirk. You don't want to leave these guys wide open, especially Killy, Tutok, Gallo. I don't like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's just a basic miscommunication off of some basic offensive moves, right? Just like running a wrap, making the extra pass. That's enough to maybe fluster some people who aren't necessarily on the same page. And I like what I just saw from Streets there. That's the flashback of the lockdowns and 3s just bullying their way into the paint.
Antoine pulls up from the elbow. That won't fall. Slaughter with the rebound. Cavs will get another chance at it. Down low to Slaughter. Great defense from Brooklyn. DJ 2 corner to the corner. He's well defended. And we got Walnut versus Antoine at the top. Antoine cooks him. DJ can't reward him with the corner 3. But Shipday will give him another shot at it. Antoine using the screen. Top of the key was open left. Goes right. Open again and hits again. Antoine on fire to open up the third quarter. Let's listen to Brooklyn. I want to hear what they're saying. Tied at 37.
Yeah, it's not coming back.
Gotta beat him. I'll get in front of DJ.
I got DJ. I got Slaughter. Okay.
One DJ.
Oh, I'm on him. I'm on him. Horse and wing. It's. Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot. He'll blitz you.
Yeah. Grabbing you.
Come on. Oh, wow. Come on. Let's go. I got double. Got double. I pop sharp and play. We get the ball in the 4th. Big end here. Both teams have foul to give. And use me. I got sharp and play. Please. I got bump on him. I'm stuck. Corner. I'm getting a killie. Nice. Fuck. Okay. Let's go, Ty.
Let's go.
Let's go, Ty. Come on. Don't lose it.
I get. We have both teams won. All ball. Good. Knock it out. I'm up.
Get it. Get out, Sean.
Good hedge.
Off. Too deep.
I got it.
Good.
No.
Oh.
Oh, what?
Dex him out, Sean. Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean.
Go,
Come on, Sean.
Huge call.
I trust you.
Hey, we have a 2-1. We have a 2-1 and one to give. 2-1 and one to give.
Yep. Watch your playbook here, fellas. Our ball in the fourth.
Play my record for now.
Okay.
I'm good now. Play my cut.
Don't foul.
Okay.
Don't foul. We got last shot. Or best. Come on.
Okay.
One wild Walnut locked in here, calling out plays, calling out performances. This is great from Walnut, and another big play from the Nets on a great run here in the third quarter. They'll have the last shot, sending us into the fourth. Green's with Badge, looking for an opening, over to Reed. Great play call, and he rewards him. That's a big-time shot from Reezy, and it's a 6-point lead now for NetsGC. 5 seconds to go in the third. Can they respond? Smart foul. 15 points for Streets, 8 now for Reed. Nice game here in the third quarter for Brooklyn as Antoine at the buzzer knocks it down. And he cuts the lead to 4 heading into the fourth. We got a good one here, Dirk.
That run right there was all sparked from Walnut. I was joking with you during that listening. I said, this is a man who went from playing like Shaquille O'Neal to now who's reinventing his game and playing out there like Jokic. He's shooting the ball. He's passing in the half court. Harris, he's calling plays coming up the floor while dribbling the damn ball. It's something that we haven't seen from Walnut in a long time.
One of the all-time greats getting it done. We'll see him in the fourth quarter when we come back.
In my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they wanted to smoke. If you know, then you know. Suited up, my whole team do the same. Don't you forget who created the game. Ready for war, I was born with grenades. The trenches where soldiers are made. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever.
Bunch of great finishes here to our first games of the night. Blazer 5 Gaming keeping it close against Minnesota. A posterizing dunk from Bear and a 3 from Portland later, and it's 72-67. Bottom of your screen, Gen G, Hornets, Venom. They are locked in a gritty game. Classic Eastern Conference, it's 52-50 over there. And then our feature matchup, 48-44. Cleveland just got the ball back. We'll check in on that Blazer 5 T-Wolves game here in a second. They just went to a timeout. But for now, Cleveland with the ball down by 4. Antoine with Badge. A little shake and bake, top of the key, over to DJ in the corner. Knocks it down. Nice shot from DJ. They cut the lead to 1.
And all of you've noticed this, that throughout the entirety of this game, when Cavs League just has possession of the ball, Antoine's first pass is just always just going right to DJ. Those NetsGC players, as soon as they get a step away, that's when it's going over to him. And hasn't been doing a good job of hitting threes over the course of the game. That was honestly one I wasn't even expecting him to hit. I know that he's had some wide opens before. They're like, okay, that's DJ too cold. He should be able to knock them down.
DJ was great from the corner last year for NBL. He was a weapon for them offensively. Cleveland's going to need him to be the same if they want to compete in this conference. Good game for him so far. Good start to the season. There's going to be Slaughter down low with the offensive rebound. DJ passes up the shot. He'll get it to Antoine. He's got Badge. Nice cut from Killian. He gets the slam. Cleveland's up by 1.
It is just non-stop, constant movement, offensively, defensively. So much going on. Out there on the floor.
Got a hell of a game everywhere. 1-point game over here. 2-point lead for the Hornets. 3-point lead for the T-Wolves. They got 40 seconds left. We'll check in there in a second as Walnut goes down the lane to give them the lead. And here is that triple box. We're looking down low. Bear to Beast, ball in his hand. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to the corner. Polo for three. He hits it. Oh, what a shot from Polo. 75-69, 30 seconds to go. We'll go down to the Western Conference. Check out the closeout of this one. May trying to post them up down low. 20 seconds to go. Faiz back down to him, and they'll get the 2. 4-point game now. T-Wolves in control.
And now it's just milking that clock as much as possible. Make sure to take care of the ball. And
Ooh,
oh my,
that was
I
almost
don't
a
know.
steal.
There
It
you
is
go.
a steal. Portland gets it back. Maybe not a great pass there after the steal. 7.8 to go. 4-point game. The Blazers going down fighting here. Claude gets it down to May. That'll be another 2. 75-73. They need another miracle. Goes into Bear. That'll be a foul. They're one to give. Oh, but it resets everybody. Can they get back in time? Ooh, timeout, T-Wolves. They need to figure it out. Most important inbounds of the game.
Yeah, I mean, so the issue was with that inbound, right? Well, one, I thought Bear to Beast was going to lose the ball. I think everybody thought Bear was going to end up losing the ball because of where it was. So you try to make a panic read, right? You just want to advance the ball as quickly as possible. But when the spacing's all not there, it just goes right to the hands of a B5 player. But now here in the inbounds, you've called the timeout. You're going to be able to advance the ball. We saw them yesterday in a similar situation like this, to where they were able to get the clock down to about like 1 second after all the fouls that were going through. Then they just launched it the complete length of the floor. So don't be shocked if you see something like that. If they can get all the way back, get a clean catch, and immediately try to throw something up, that could be crucial here for T-Wolves Gaming. But you can't allow just an island like we just saw Bear to Beast get put into on that previous inbound.
Bear to Beast, 29 points, 13 assists, does have 5 turnovers. So we see a made shot from the Nets. They cut that lead to 1. Gen G fighting as well. They're down by 2. Let's see if T-Wolves Gaming can execute the inbounds here. Polo gets it into Bear. That'll be a foul immediately. Bear will go to the line for 2. T-Wolves trying to stave off Blazer 5. Bear hits 1. That'll be 30 for him. Bear to make it a 2-possession ball game. Knocks down the free throw. Blazer 5 needs a miracle. A 3 and 1. I don't know, Dirk. Seems pretty unlikely to me.
I don't think we had a situation like that since the, what was it? Was that when it was a sick, right? Back in, is this season 4?
Yep.
4-point play? Yeah, that's what you need at this point. You just burn the time. It's only 2.5, so you can't even go in for a quick 2 and try to play that game. So the T-Wolves should be able to close it out. Just, again, pending any craziness happening. But these guys are smart, right? When you try to contest with the right stick, even if you just give up an open 3, we do have to think about point differential, right? So maybe B5 are like, we're not going to win this game, so let me just go out there, try to get a 2, so at least try to cut that down when we're thinking in the groups if we can't go for a win.
Well, Gen G, they've cut the lead to 1, 59-58, 14 seconds to go. Timeout, Charlotte. We got a lot of close finishes coming up, and Brooklyn just tied the game as well, 57 all. All right, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We got some great finishes coming up here to open up night 2 of the tip-off powered by AT&T. Portland needs a 3 and a prayer. They'll take the quick 2, and now they desperately need the craziest thing in the history of 2K to happen. Can the T-Wolves inbound the ball? They will, and that'll be an immediate foul. 26 assists as a team for Blazer 5. That's the kind of basketball you want to play. But it's those fine margins defensively, Dirk, that is it's gonna bother them all year. We zoom back out. Blazer 5 can't get it done. 75-79. They fall to 0-2. As NetsGC takes the lead. That's Reezy from way downtown. 60-57. Minute left to go in that one. Let's go to Gen G. Hornets as Gen G gets the steal off the inbounds. A chance to win it. Reese the God has the ball. Gets it over to the left side. Back to Reese. Puts up the 3. Oh, he can't knock it down.
Hey, I want to see a replay of that last sequence if we can. I think that he had a quick pass down to Boo. Just be able to take the 2 and win the game.
Oh, a brutal finish for Gen G. We get back down to this one. NetsGC can't take the lead. 30 seconds to go. Tie game. Close finishes everywhere. Slaughter with the playmaking badge. Got to be careful. Antoine with 10. Goes left. Goes the Killy. Antoine with 5 now. Can he get an open shot off? He gets the shot and gets the 3. Antoine takes the lead with 11 seconds to go. Green's looking to respond. He'll get fouled immediately. And that'll send Brooklyn to the line. What a shot from Antoine.
It's just perfection, right? There's something that hits different about seeing a perfect behind the back mixed in with a big body screen to be able to find himself an opening. Just had a feeling when they were constantly fighting to try to get Reezy into the play, that was going to be an outcome that was going to favor them.
All the credit to Antoine so far. He has been a dog to open up this 5v5 season. Cavs Legion trying to move to 2-0. Timeout Cleveland. They got a 1-point lead, 7.5 to go. Really smart foul, by the way, in the middle of all that emotion, Dirk. I didn't even realize they had already used their one to give. But a great basketball IQ play there to send Brooklyn to the line immediately.
Yeah, don't want to give them any chance to go out there trying to tie the game. You know, leave fate in your hands. You know that you have to just be the team to go to the line and knock down your free throws. But to your point, you give credit where it's due. The one thing about Antoine since he came into the NBA 2K League has been his inconsistent shooting. A guy that could get open $1 million moves, $1 shot over and over and over again has really been the story of his career. Yesterday's game, amazing. Today, perfect 5 of 5 from behind the arc. It's something that we have not seen from Antoine in a very long time when it comes to taking over a team like this at the point guard position.
They play great defense over there in Cleveland. They need Antoine to be that guy this year. If there was ever a time for him to finally step up to the plate, it's now, and he has so far. He's done everything you can ask. Let's see if Cleveland can close out the game. They got a 1-point lead. Shipday gets it into Antoine. He'll get fouled immediately. Pressure free throws coming in for the Cleveland point guard. Antoine for 1. He sinks it. 23 and 6 for him. Antoine from the line. He's got badge and he's got 2. It's 65-62, and I'm guessing the immediate foul is coming in. That's looks like what TB is telling the rest of his team right now.
Yeah, he did it before. Go ahead and try to do it again. I mean, this is where, if you're the Nets, your strategy and game planning, right? The one thing you can't do is with the intentional fouls, if you get those passes off quick enough, it's not going to be able to get there. You do sometimes see like the late wrap up as the pass is going through, kind of like what you actually saw from TB, where it looks like he'd actually just knocked the ball away and then there was the late foul call. If you're the Nets, like, you have to move quick with it, and it has to be unorthodox. It's going to be super weird if they're able to go out there and get a 3. Here's my thing, though. They still have the 6 seconds on the clock. They still have a timeout.
Yeah.
So even if you wanted to, right, if they do go in for the foul, maybe we'll see. Maybe they're expecting them to foul. Maybe they'll pass the ball, and the Cavs like, no, like, let's play straight up. Then that automatically changes what NetsGC has to do. They would probably have to utilize their timeout, actually draw something up to try to play some mind games. But I'm with you in this. I think the Cavs will go for it again. Maybe try to burn some time off the clock, right? Play that straight up defense and just get it all the way down so when they get the ball, they can just launch it the length of the floor.
Well, here we go. NetsGC down by 3. They get it to Greens, fouled immediately. They'll play the free throw battle, looking to get the stop. Greens for 1, got it. You're shooting free throws with that badge, Dirk. You can do it with your eyes closed. As Greens knocks down both. 65-64. Cleveland, they'll inbound the ball safely. More free throws. Back and forth we go. Antoine again with badge, takes his time, sinks the first. It's like putting in golf. So important. Antoine for 2. Gets it to go. 67-64. Nets will use their final timeout here.
I'm looking at Reezy. It looks like he's the one that's kind of taking control and trying to draw something up. It's so tough, right? Because for the Cavs, they've showed you that's what they're going to do every single time. As soon as somebody touches the ball. So it's going to have to be quick touch passes for them to be able to try to find an opening for a 3. Because now you've had to utilize that timeout. I mean, a quick 2 I don't even think is in question. You could try to the length of the floor. We have not seen a flick up actually drop in yet. But on the side of NetsGC, right, just from the body language, we can't hear exactly what they're saying. They almost look a little stunned too. It's like, what do we keep on doing in this situation? Are we really just going to keep going to the line, knocking down our free throws, banking on maybe Cavs Legion GC missing some free throws on their end as well? It's going to have to be quick, though. That's the one thing that we do know. Whoever it's going to be, we've seen everybody be able to show off their playmaking chops, especially Walnut too, throughout the entirety of this game.
There is the old weird strategy of making the first, missing the second. And then getting fouled again. But we'll see. I don't think Brooklyn's going to go for that strategy. They're kind of stuck here. Streets gets it into Greens. Ooh, almost got a shot off. Not to be.
No, you saw it. He tried to go for the quick pass off it, but that's how fast things can happen. So that's why, like, there's probably people in the chat like trying to brainstorm, how would I break this? You just saw it. Like, he was getting ready to go for it. That pass was going to that right corner, but as soon as he even started the animation, DJ Tuco was already there spamming to try to foul him.
Here we go, 3.8. Cavs got to inbound.
Taking their sweet time with it.
Taking their time with it. They get it into TV Shifty. That ruined the Brooklyn defense. So ruined me. That was funny. Shifty to the line has been struggling from 3, but he sinks it from the line. Shifty gets 1, and he gets 2. Clutch free throws there from the lockdown. 2.4. The Nets need a miracle. Cavs playing wall defense, and that will do it. Well-executed endgame situation for Cleveland. Antoine gets the 3, and that's all they need. Cleveland moves to 2-0. Cavs Legion starting to tip off, powered by AT&T Hot.
I mean, I don't want to say it's like a complete and utter shock, because I think even when you and I were talking about this team and I had them listed as pretenders, I was like, but this could be a team that could just sneakily come out there and just start to look phenomenal. Just kind of banks on what Antoine brings to the table. And he is playing out of this world. Probably the best point guard play that we've seen from Antoine so far here in his time in the league.
An excellent game plan, I think, as well from Cleveland in that one. They really shut down Greens' 3-ball, tried to get him to give the ball up. Great game from Walnut, but just not enough for Brooklyn. We'll see how they respond coming up tomorrow night, but a really, really nice win for Cavs Legion. They take control of that group with their 2-0 record. We got to reset a bit here, my friend Derek. That was a crazy end to our first hour of games. T-Wolves Blazers coming down to the wire. Gen G, you're right. I went back and watched that play. I just saw it on social media, and yeah, they had it open. They had it open. If we want a production team, they have it. The Reese the God play here. They got the steal. They get it to Reese. Pulls up, has the yes. Well, he had Boot going back down low. Joel has him right there.
Right here. It's this pass right there.
Had him. They both had him open down low off the double team. But he takes the 3, misses it.
That is a blunder that you typically don't see from players who have been in this league since it started. I mean, when you think about that, right? Like, the only reason that you wouldn't pass it is if the center maybe has the hands up, and I would still then even throw it directly at him. That's a guard down there trying to even intercept that if they did, and he wasn't moving into the paint. I don't know if that's just like a clock awareness thing that was going on there with Reese, but that is tough. I mean, that right there, that boot slam, that's probably for the win. Honestly, I don't think they would have had enough time after that for the Hornets to be able to even get up that good of a look.
Well, even Jolo too. He had Boot wide open when he got the ball. So both of them gotta look down low for the big men. Only down by 1, and even then, Dirk, that shot was greenable from Reese. It registered as an open. We've seen guys hit those shots so far this year, but not to be this time around. Gen G falls in their 5v5 debut. Big comeback win for Charlotte. They got smacked around last night by Knicks Gaming. Usually those two teams go toe-to-toe pretty well. Knicks had control of that one for most of the game, but a really, really nice win for Charlotte, relying on their defense to get it done. Under 60 points for Gen G.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we could really look forward to this year was, having Fluke Lock, Big Saint, and Crown now, from the very start of the season going down all the way to the end. That's something that could will this team to victory. We didn't see it a whole lot yesterday. Defense wasn't anything too crazy, but good to see it there, right? Going up against Gallo, who we know is just been this different monster this year when it comes down to season 7. We saw it in 3 versus 3. Reached the God. We know what typically to expect from him. So it was a good test for them, and it's a test that they passed. Yes, it was a very close game. You came out on top. If they were just probably one pass away from actually losing the game, but Doesn't even matter. Take the wins however you can get them here in this league.
Agreed. A very, very fun block of games here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're about to enter the 7 o'clock hour. Got some great games coming up. Jazz Gaming, Lakers Gaming, our featured matchup. NBL Oz Gaming, Raptors Uprising GC. They are currently underway. 1 point lead for Oz Gaming. Then we also got Bucks Gaming versus Dukes Infinitos. So it's been a fun night so far, Dirk. Very excited to see what happens here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. What do you think on Jazz Lakers?
Ooh, I actually think it's going to be really good. I don't think that, you know, of course, in the Lakers, and we've seen how good the T-Wolves are, it's kind of hard to judge, but I think yesterday the